Brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, to rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. All right, as you can see, I have this article right here, how to stop procrastinating until the last minute. All right, and that's one thing that we have to be good at, is not procrastinating. All right, especially in the short times that we're in. As of right now, we got to understand that our labor and our work um, has to continually be going, and we can't be waiting until the last second for things, especially because we are part of the ones who are in the know. You know, we always speak about 11th hour Israelites and things of that nature, but guess what? We don't fall in that category because we know, and we know better. So therefore, we know what time we're in. Matter of fact, I'll get that script, a classic one, in Psalm 110. Psalm 110 and 3, it says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, and the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth." But we always pinpoint the beginning of that, where it says what? Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Right. This script here can be seen in both senses of judgment spectrum. You know, what type of reward individual each individual on this earth is going to receive. If they done wickedness, that's what their reward is going to be then they're going to be so willing in the day of their power. Well, it's going to be too late, you know. And then, of course, you got Israelites who the Lord is going to have mercy on in that day. But, Joseph just woke up to that knowledge when all hell is breaking loose, but he will have mercy on them. Then they'll be willing in the day of that power as well. But for us, we're willing right now. So therefore, we can't have any type of procrastination coming from us as much. We got to limit that. All right, so I found this article, and I read the first paragraph. You know how I do with the articles. I'm not going to read word for word. Y'all can read. I'll put it in the description box below, and y'all can check it out. It says, "Why do you procrastinate?" And I was just reading some of the topics here. It says, "The problem is within, not without." Right? So the problem is within. So there's classic scripts that pop up in my mind. One of them is 1 Corinthians 11 and 28. It says, "But let a man examine himself." Right? So you got to look at yourself in the mirror. The man in the mirror. No Michael Jackson, okay? All right, but really, you got to look yourself in the mirror and thoroughly examine yourself. It says to test, examine, prove, scrutinize. It's like you have to be good with taking constructive criticism from others, including yourself. I'm speaking just off from myself. You can run away from yourself. You can. And you can let things get out of hand because you're not addressing the issue within inside of you. Because you may have examined yourself, but you're running away from it. I did a video the other day titled "Endure Hard Times." And there's an article in there, okay? And there's an article in that video. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that article up real quick. Bear with me one moment. Babakashah. There's an article in that video. All right, here it is. There's an article in that video where it said, here it is. It says, "Hard times must be endured rather than escaped." Right, so you can't escape yourself. So even if you self-examine yourself, you do some self-examination, You can't escape from that self-examination because it's embedded in there. Okay? Once you examine yourself and you thoroughly saw what you really are, and you know your flaws and what the hell is wrong with you, you can't escape that. I said in that lesson, if you run from these hard times, okay, well, they're still going to be there. They're just pending. Okay? They're just pending. When something's pending, it still has to happen. You can only put it off for so long. Okay? That comes back to the procrastination. Usually procrastination occurs when there's a task that needs to be done or there's a task at hand. All right? That's when the procrastination comes. All right? You just keep putting it off. It's pending, but the task is still there and it still needs to be done. So regardless, you can't escape from it. In our task, we're prophets. We are to prophesy. We are to proclaim and pronounce the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It's there. You can't run from it. The perfect book to read about that, especially how to avoid the procrastination, is the book of Jonah. Okay? He didn't want to do it. He ran away from the problem. It wasn't a problem. It was something the Lord told him to do. That's not a problem. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? But he ran. But guess what? The task still needed to be accomplished, and the Lord made it get accomplished. It was just pending for a little while from the individual running away from the task at hand. All right, it's the same thing with us, but you have to examine yourself. It's not the task that's giving you the issue. It's yourself, because you know that has to get done. You're the issue. So fix whatever is inside of you, and then go ahead and take care of the task. And that's one way you can eliminate the procrastination. All right. So it's not without, it's within. Okay. It says addressing the real problem. All right. Well, I kind of want to skip this, but never mind. I'm not going to skip it, but I'm not going to apply it to the truth, because the truth isn't the problem. Okay. But addressing, just say in your everyday life, you may have some tasks that you have to accomplish. All right. Or you may run some bump in the roads. Well, you got to address the problem. I love to say this. In order to find a solution, you got to pinpoint the problem. Okay? Because there's no solution until you find the problem. Okay? How can you give an answer to an equation when there's no equation that exists? You got to find the problem and then solve the problem. All right? So that's just quick on that. We could bypass that. It says break down the task. And like I said, you could read this, but usually you could get a lot from just the title itself. Break down the task. Okay? So break down the task. What I got from that, breaking down the task, is you count the cost. All right? So this is Luke chapter 14 and 28. It says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it. Right. So let's go back. For which of you, so exactly. So me, myself, and I, brothers who listening, sisters who's listening, which one of y'all, okay? So all of y'all, okay, intending to build a tower. So let's just take that into apply that to our lives. We have a task at hand. So you understand the task that was set forth. All right. Which one of you has been given a task? Okay. It says, sitteth not down first. Okay. So which one of you, all right, has been given a task? Okay. Which is the part where it says build a tower. That's your task, to build a tower. Okay. Sitteth not down first. Now the sitteth not down first is where logic comes into play. Being logistical, or just being logical. Why did I say logistical? Being logical and using logistics. All right, so let's get the word logistic. The word logistic Oh my gosh, I hate Esau. Relating to logistics. No shit, Sherlock. Hold on. God, man, Esau irritates me. All right, let's go to logic. All right, branch of philosophy that treats of forms of thinking. All right, the science of distinction of true from false reasoning. Right, so the knowledge of distinction, which is discernment of true and false reasoning. All right, so let's go back for what you use. So everyone, it's like a job. You get employed from an employer. Don't mean to use slave words, but you gotta. I'm trying to make it understandable. Your employer gives you a task to do, like, hey, I need you to make 50 outbound calls today. Okay, so that's your task. You're gonna sit down. Okay, I gotta make 50 outbound calls. Let's use logic. All right, and we're gonna run some scenarios through my mind to see whether what scenario fits, what can be true and what can be false. So the scenarios that I run in my head that are false, I'm not even gonna do those. And the ones that run in my head that are true, let's try those out. All right. It says pertaining to or speaking of reasoning. All right, again, what's the most reasonable way to complete this task? All right. This is what the Lord is saying. You just did, hey, do this, okay, and just start fucking off. No, you sat down and you came up with a plan, okay, and you came up with a plan. All right, that's what you do, okay. So it says and counteth the cost. So now when you come to your reasoning, now you count the cost. Okay, can I do this really? Can I really do this? And it says whether he has sufficient to finish it. Right. Do I have enough in the tank, or do I have the fortitude to continue with this? And every person who comes across the truth, believe it or not, goes through this. And the ones who stayed and continue to preach and are continuing to this day, you're seeing that they have a sufficient enough amount to keep going. Okay? And we pray every day that we continue to store replenish, keep replenishing and refueling our spirit to continue. Okay? So you got to sit down. You have to count the cost. You have to break down the task. Now, it is our reasonable service to do this. So we break down the task. All right. So what do I have to give up? If it's a career, got to give up the career. Count the cost. For me, personally, just as a personal testimony, it was a career. I had to give up an entire career. I was well off. I'm going to be honest. I was well off when it comes to finances. I was well off. I had to give it up so I can do what the Lord asked me to do. I know a lot of brothers gave up a lot more things, more than I did, but that was our initial sacrifice. That was our initial sacrifice, and we counted the cost because we had a bit of faith there that the Lord could work with. You see? So I just wanted to come with that quick lesson. Those are certain ways to understand how to stop procrastinating. It's not the task at hand, it's you. That's the main thing. It's not the task at hand, it's you. You need to self-examine or examine yourself and fix things within inside yourself so you can complete the task without no hiccups. Well, actually, there's one last thing on here that I wanted to do. And it says cultivate This was it. Cultivate a productive environment. So that's who you surround yourself with, as little as coming down to in your own quarters, how you have your study area set up. Do you have enough space, or do you have enough quiet time? You may live with a rib, have kids, or have animals or whatnot. Do you have enough time to sit down and actually read, study, or watch a lesson, or do a lesson? All right. Make sure you have a productive environment around you to actually complete the task instead of procrastinating. All right. Because with procrastination, once you finally get to the task, you're moaning and sighing because you try to put it off for so long and you really don't want to do it. And that's not how we should be viewing the truth. So we don't procrastinate when it comes to this truth. You have to continue to put in work. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Brother Kashqual, until the next time, shalom. And Lord willing, I'll put this link in the description below. Shalom.